Hey guys, wanted to check in with you. We do have a camera person today, which is Ben, and I will be communicating with you via Bluetooth and text message. Again, you can call me at 512 905 2298, and I should be able to answer your questions live while I'm working. We're going to have 2 hours today. We're going to repeat some of the stuff we've done in the last two sessions and then add some really fun options. I'm going to try to break it into pieces where you're giving and receiving in a way that's not overwhelming. So we might do close to an hour give and receive. As you're working with one of the partners, just make sure that that is in fact the case so that you can give through half of the session and then receive through half of the session. Andrea, are you having any problems with your upper back and neck?
Yeah.
Yep. Where?
All through.
Kind of both sides?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which side's worse?
Left.
Left side?
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and lay on your right side. Put the left side up. And then I've got a pillow to keep her level, meaning to keep her head mostly at neutral. Her head is a little bit up, but I think also this pillow is going to smoosh just a little bit. If you don't have that, sometimes I'll use blankets because these have a little bit less give. I'll actually fold these and make something that it's got less give than this pillow, but it just depends on you and like what works best. I want them mostly to be at neutral, and then what I'm going to do with this blanket in her case, since she's already got a pillow, is I'm going to give her a bolster for her legs and hips. So I'm going to take this guy. How's that? More comfortable?
Yep.
Good. Oh, so as I come in, I'm trying to get settled, which means putting my drink out of the way so I don't spill it all over my mat. And no, it's not beer, though I wouldn't necessarily be opposed. I don't know what you do in your practice, but I'm going to scoot in so that my bottom is right next and up to her hips, so that I can give her some support here as I pull her back. This is just opening up the chest and opening up this area right here. Good Lord, that is tight.
Uh-huh.
And let me see. Somebody texted me earlier. Boo, 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 boo. There we go. And again, if you guys need to message me, it's 512 905 2298. I'm going to loop her arm over mine around the shoulder here so I can get a grip. Then I'm going to lean back. When I pull on you this way, where do you feel that? Rhomboids, okay. So again, if you guys have any questions, I have my Bluetooth on. You can call me or text me at 512 905 2298. Dying right there. Oh, dying. Oh, 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 oh. This is a go-to. I don't know when's the last time I didn't do this. It's simply just too effective to work on someone this way. Really saves my hands, makes everything easier. Cool. So yeah, if you guys need a different camera angle, have a question, please just text or call. Why I keep that available to you. Makes the class more interactive. Students keep saying, I prefer in-person classes. And I go, you prefer kinesthetic feedback, and if you get 8 massage therapists in your living room working with us on a big screen, we form satellites and you have an in-person class. But I'm teaching you online, and we've basically disrupted education in an entire industry. Is that just me? Does my only one that sees that? Right there? Good Lord, just up here. It's like your serratus posterior superior. Something in there, man. Whew. Now, I've opened this up just a little bit, but just to give her a little more openness, I'm going to back out for a second so I can come over here. I'm going to put my foot along her sacrum and then pull her back and open. How's that? Right there. Fun, huh? So I worked on Kristen yesterday. Couldn't get the multicam set up, but I did record it with a single cam. And as I worked on her, she was complaining because she's not been able to get, she has problems with her upper back and neck. She can't get therapists to work on it. And when I talk to her, increasingly, it seems like the problem is the therapists are just delivering a massage. And I'm like, well, how long? She's like, well, it was only an hour, but they only spent like 20 minutes working on my upper back and neck. So a third of the session, right? I worked on Kristen for 2.5 hours. 2 of those hours were spent on her upper back and neck. And she's like, oh my God, I feel so much better. Oh my God. And it's like, I use my hands for about a minute. I had a longer shoulder blade. Longer shoulder. Am I killing you? So when somebody comes in and says, I have a problem with my upper back and neck, why are they only spending 20 minutes of the session working on the upper back and neck? What the hell is going on? Is it just me? It's just me? Am I on medications?
That's like the only thing
You feel that in your low back, or what do you got? Mid back?
Yeah.
Like through here? So when I bring my foot, okay, so my foot's low and then my foot's higher.
That's forward.
Right there. That's what I was looking for. Some more in there? Okay. Is that too much on your hand or wrist?
No.
Okay. So in her case, I'm going to put my feet side by side, kind of hooking the toes, almost like underneath the shoulder blade right here. How's that? Now I can basically, in her case, I can lift almost her entire body up off the mat doing this. If you look at the video from the Thai massage jam we did, I did this to Carlton. I think Carlton said he weighed 286. And I'm basically throwing Carlton around like this. Is that too much? Aha, your shoulder blade finally let go and gave. Oh. Oh. Oh.
Oh my God.
Oh. Oh. And let's see what our text message said.
What was it? That
Whoop.
was amazing.
Cool. Emma was saying that she loves the camera guy. And I don't think she means that she loves you because she hadn't gotten to know you, Ben. Although I'm sure she would love you as well. I think she just loves the fact that she can get different camera angles. movement helps. So we've essentially opened up the chest. Like I press where she hurts, right? Massage therapists typically will spend the time with people prone. They'll spend 45 minutes. Yeah, don't put pressure on that. They'll spend 45 minutes pressing on the posterior side. My argument and discussion about upper back and neck pain is I think most of the upper back and neck pain comes from the fact that the person is having problems in the front. The problem is the pec and the pec minor, and it's rolling the shoulder blade forward. What I'm trying to do is I'm behind pulling them back and open to try to get that to open up. Now, this little space right here.
Oh my God.
Right
yep.
there. Yes,
Mhm.
yes. So I'm going to come around. I'm going to give her a little bit of traction. I'm going to stack her arm. I like over the gluteals like this because I got two hands. I got a shoulder and a palm. Shoulder and a palm. Then I might be able to isolate it. How's the deltoids right there?
Not too bad.
Not too bad? Okay,
No.
and I can hold right there?
Yeah.
Cool. Now if I roll you back or forward?
Back.
Back a little bit
Because it hits that.
and a little bit
what you were
down.
just-
So tell me, right there?
Yep.
And what you'll
Oh,
see if you look, you see how it
yeah.
kind of moves their neck? It's starting to like lift. It's getting a little bit of scaleneus medius. What I'm going to do is I'm going to prop myself on my right foot. I'm going to step this left knee right in there. Too much? Oh, Jesus. Lordy Jesus.
Mhm.
It's the Praise Jesus Gospel Hour, Thai massage, jam, whatever the hell we call it.
Ugh.
Thing right there. How's that?
Mm.
You dying?
Not yet.
Now, rocking
Oh,
or static?
rocking.
Okay.
Normally I say no to
Now,
that.
I'm rocking kind of front to back. What if I rock up and down?
That's more worse.
More worse. Nice. We're going to trademark that.
Yeah.
Do you want a massage or do you want to be more worse?
Oh, I'll be more worse. Oh, jeez.
Too much?
No, it's good.
Okay. So when I do that, it's intense. Correct? Okay. Is it painful?
No.
Okay. So if it's ever painful, we have to back off. What backing off would mean is me leaning. You see my hips? I want to show this. How's that pressure there? Oh, how's the pressure there? How's the pressure there?
Nah.
It's leaning in. My knees are like huge elbows on steroids.
So awesome.
There you go. Awesome and awful. Do you want a massage or do you want to be awesome and awful?
Mhm.
Right there?
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. So I'm going to double up here. I'm going to have my right hand on the shoulders, the deltoids, my left hand on the extensors. Now, if you're not lengthy enough, like depending on the parameters of the partner that you're working with, you got to be giving them good feedback, by the way. Feel free to just come out like this or like this. Tons of options. Right there?
Yep.
There we go. So what I call this is primary, secondary, tertiary. The primary thing is this. Now, if I want to take that out, how does it feel when I take the shoulder out?
Not great.
Not great. It feels worse?
No, it's just
Not as good.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I add this in, that feels better.
Yes.
Now, why?
I don't know.
I don't know. What does the
It just
science say?
feels-
I don't know. We don't
just
have a
feels
lot of
better.
double-blind studies on like hippies mashing on people.
Ooh.
All the research money tends to go to Oxycontin.
That's good.
And the Sackler family wants your money. Right there.
Yep.
There. Oh. 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 If you groan for the client, it's nice because it saves them energy. Oh. Jesus.
That's right. Yep. Hey, that's making my sinus headache go away.
Now, is it
Nice.
making your sinus headache go away, or are you having referred pain because of muscles in your neck that's referring pain into your head that feels like sinus pain? Oh.
That makes more sense. I thought it was allergy related. Allergy.
Yeah, it's Austin. They're like, Do you take Claritin? I freebase
Duh.
it.
Yes. Only always?
It's Austin. So what I did was I gently put weight back on my right knee so that I could gently come off. When you do deep compressions like that, you're going to want to take your time. You don't want to like jump in and out. So I think what I want to do is have you just flip to the other side so I can repeat it. We're still on the same giver, same receiver. We just kind of, in 15 minutes, open to side. That is very common for what my sessions look like, except, are you ready? I might do one side for an hour. And then I'll do the other side for an hour. And then the 2-hour session is over. But I don't do a 2-hour session. Oh, because I do 3 hours. And then I'll put them in another position and like keep working on them. It changes the structure of what you're doing. In my case, I charge $80 an hour. One day I'll raise rates, but it's $240 a session. Clients pay it. Sometimes I make over $500 in a day. It's kind of nice. And I could afford a new sous vide. That was nice. So just flipping to the other side. Again, if you guys have questions, feel free to text or call me. And I'm going to come in again, and I'm going to butt right up against right here. Now, I want to get some feedback from you real quick because of this. Like you and I work together so we know. If I was going to come in and do this with my body against you, or I'd say, no, I'm much more concerned about my personal boundaries, and I back off and create a space between us, and now do this.
I don't.
Why?
I don't have something to roll up against. Like I need cushion. Something like.
So this is a debate. Kristen and I had this conversation yesterday.
I'm okay.
Do massage therapists want more intimacy with their clients or less?
I don't know. I'm not a typical massage therapist.
Well, you're not typical. You've spent more than 5 minutes around me without hating my guts.
I'm decided that I don't know what the typical therapist.
So let's remove that and say the clients.
Yeah.
Do the clients want more physical intimacy or less?
Clients want.
I think therapists are afraid of intimacy.
Yeah.
They've got a very comfortable box, which we're kind of dismantling, which can be a little disconcerting, right? Because you're like, this is awful, like intimate, right? So I could do this. Do you like this or do you like this more?
No.
Why?
Support.
So more passive body contact.
Yeah,
I think in massage school, students are taught to be like afraid of passive body contact.
Like, I don't know it's your leg.
Yeah.
In my opinion, if my eyes are closed, I'd be like, little pillow, whatever. Like, you're not worried about it as the receiver at all.
Now, do massage therapists want people to be clothed or naked? Massage therapists want nudity, and I'm like, hold on, what about clothes on? And they're like, but I can't get skin.
Why?
And I'm like, I've got more surface contact and area than most massage therapists will get because they've only got like a forearm or an elbow. Like I've got basically from tailbone to the top of your head, and I've got movement. I'm not saying that nudity is wrong. I'm saying that we're dismantling a box and delivering a slightly different package to the clients. My clients tell me all the time, this is awesome. I didn't even have to take off my clothes, and it's more effective for pain. Wow. My arm has never felt so good. Right there. So when you look at therapists, and I think about this a lot as we're pulling Pec and Pec Minor open, do therapists want money or freedom? Because if I say, I can teach you and you'll make $100,000 a year, do massage therapists respond to that language? No, they do not. That would be my...
No.
Well, here's what it was basically years ago, I sat and looked at what I did, And I said, this is traditional Thai massage, and this is whatever the hell it is you do, Robert. And I was diametrically opposed to traditional Thai massage. Then I sat down and played that same thing with, like, what do clients want and what do therapists want? And I'm like, ooh, on 3/4 of the criteria, I think the therapists in some senses are selling the wrong package. I mean, unless they just absolutely want to do massage. Now, more down towards the feet, more to the back. More to the back. More to the back. Scoot it over, more to the back. Here. Now, she likes that over and back, so I'm going to give her more of that. I'm going to come out, hey, put my right foot along her sacrum here, and isolate her so I can pull her open. Oh my God.
Doing.
So this is one we had a discussion about. Do therapists want more tools or less? They want culturally sanctioned tools. Because fundamentally, to be able to do what I teach in its full expression, they have to work for themselves. Massage Envy is not going to allow this.
No.
Doesn't matter how effective it is.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So, giving her some movement to her spine, movement along, and this is real soft. Like how hard am I pressing with my foot here?
Not at all.
Not at all. Not at all.
I feel like a baby
Not
being
at
rocked.
all. I feel like a baby being rocked.
Mhm.
Like a baby being rocked by an ornery 43-year-old anarchist.
Hey, I don't care. The baby doesn't care.
Gonna isolate around the
Clients
sacrum.
don't care.
Now, not as much tension in the lumbar, but then when we get towards the rib cage, just a little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you think right there? So I'm really got like a base. I've got my heel down, and then what I'm doing is I've kind of just below her shoulder blade so that I can isolate. So my foot is very much like stacked. I'm pressing the ball pad of the foot in, and then inviting the rib cage, the shoulder blade back and open. I'm not using my quads to jam my foot in. It's held in one spot, and then I'm gently leaning in. How's that? Good. How's that right there? That's where you tell your boss what you think of them. And you're like, I am my own boss. I'm like, I know, but we tell ourselves that. That's awful. Great. This is preserved for posterity. Awful and awesome. I'm going to move just a little bit higher, and I'm going to turn my foot just to curve just a little bit around her shoulder blade right there. How's that? That's nice. There we go. So I'm not really pushing with my leg. My leg is just extended. My quad is even just relaxed here. You can even see my foot, move as I'm pulling her back and open. How's that feel? Amazing. Amazing. Not amazing. Through the forearm extensors right there. So I'm gonna change my position just a little bit again. I'm gonna bring her back to neutral. And then what I'm trying to do is you'll see my foot was like this. I'm trying to get my toes underneath the shoulder blade just like I did on the opposite side. So slowly I'm gonna have to orient myself and see if I can get toes and toes right along the edge of that shoulder blade. Then I'm gonna slowly invite her back and see, yeah, her shoulder blade kind of rolls over my feet. And I can essentially just lift her off the ground like this. How's that? Amazing. There. 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 Yes. Yes. Do you recant? No one expects the Spanish Inquisition. Oh. And I'm going to pull her fingers. Carpal's open there. Yeah. A state of holy shit was declared. Oh no, it's great because the filters I have on the audio make the F bombs like just crisp.
Oh, wonderful.
Somebody told me that. I asked them, I was like, how's the audio? And they're like, it's perfect. Like I could hear your F word was so crisp. So again, right up here, just opening the upper back and neck, right? Opening the upper back and neck. Doop, 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 doop. Doop, doop, doop. There we go. So I'm going to invite this down and away. How's that?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to stack her just a little bit higher. How's that right there?
Better.
Okay.
Oh.
Now, and this is where it'll help because I want to have my my tuchus right at the camera.
Oh.
Right there.
Blah.
A little further back. How's that?
That's good.
There we go. So, and you prefer, instead of no pressure, you prefer this down.
Yes.
Okay. Now, where am I pressing? Am I in your neck? Trap.
Yeah.
With, I call it the cervicothoracic junction. It's like right at the top of levator scap, right?
Yeah.
Like if you look at the angle of my hip to my knee, it's the same thing as if I was doing from my shoulder to my elbow. The angle that those two were at shows you the angle I'm pressing. Now, front to back?
Yeah.
Or up and down?
Ooh, up and down.
Up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down.
Probably come more forward. There is awful.
Now, she has been trained. Do you see how she guided me? Using verbal communication. Do therapists want to talk more in session or be quiet? Oh, because my sessions are more talkative. I'm a little ashamed of the degree of music that I'm capable of listening to, where I'm like, Robert, are you going to listen to Little Peep like the whole session? I'm like, it is my right as a seasoned therapist to hear a 19-year-old talk about fentanyl addiction.
Do what I want.
Right there?
Yes. But I guarantee most of your clients don't even hear what you're listening to.
Front to
That's
back.
what mine have told me.
Front to back.
Yes.
Front to back. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Like, I'm too busy dying to even know what you're saying.
So, still down. How's it in the extensors over
Much
here?
better.
There we go. Now, knee is primary. This is secondary. This is tertiary. You're going to see this again and again and again and again. Guys, if you're at all confused by this, we jumped in this on the first class. I didn't think for 2 seconds, just jump up, put your knee in there. Most of you have never used your knee in somebody's traps. Most of you have never used a forearm or an elbow in somebody's neck. I'm teaching you ways of using your body that are completely different than what you're familiar with. It's fine. It's just something we got to work with. Front to the back. Front to the back. When she communicates with me verbally, what I was teasing is you need a little bit more to the front, a little bit more posterior.
Oh.
Which one?
Let's go forward.
Go forward?
Yep. That's
you tell me.
bad.
Right there?
Going.
Right there?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah,
now, up and down?
Forward. Yep.
There we go. Now, when she's like, oh, right there. Now, I don't have any doubts as to whether I'm in the right spot because we made her the boss. I'm delivering the session, but there's more communication in the pain relief and mobility sessions than I'm delivering. There's more verbal communication, not less. The other part is I go to my local CrossFit gym. Hey, I'm going to give away 30-minute sessions. I set up my camera. They sign up. They're going to get 30 minutes. I'm going to work on people for 2 hours. I'm going to work on 4 of them in a row. You do it publicly in front of everybody else. Now, what do you look like? You look like a rock star.
Yes.
You do not look like a massage therapist. Wow. Clothes on, mat base in front of everybody. Holy moly. Right there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
A little deeper.
Yeah.
Just kind of leaning in. I put my left hand down for a little bit of support. You dying yet? He's dying. She's dying. She's dead.
This is what I do. Talk a lot.
Oh, I talk plenty and I got to teach, right? You work on me and get into a good spot, and I'm like, oh, yeah. Oh.
Exactly what I'm doing. Like,
So when I take pressure off, and I want to make sure you guys can see this, I'm leaning into my left knee. I'm leaning into my right hand so I can take pressure off of the neck there. I got some control so I can back off. How's that? Better?
Yeah.
Cool. Because now I'm going to repeat again on the opposite side. I want you guys to trade out. If you're watching this at home, I want you to go ahead and trade out. We're going to repeat that same sort of, man, that's a, good Lord. Like, I could take and sell just that sequence. Like, how does your upper back and neck feel just from that?
much better.
So,
Still tight.
when you came in, did you have pain?
Oh yeah.
So, what's your pain level at?
It was close to 6.
What's that now?
Like a.
So 50% reduction in pain, 30 minutes. That will get you some clients. That is what we're doing. And if it's at all confusing, if you're like, I don't know where to put my knee, listen, she's going to be here. Kristen's going to be here. Ben is going to be here doing multiple camera angles. We're going to do this shit every month till the end of time, until the industry cracks open wide and like rainbows and shit flow out of it and righteousness pours out like a mighty stream. So flip on the other side. And I want you guys to trade out. So the other person is going to receive now. And the other is going to give. You're trading. How dare you destroy my bolster?
I know.
Is that your hip crack?
Oh, probably.
So I'm coming in here. So sore?
I said I would assume so.
Oh, assume so. Okay. Yeah. So again, if you guys need to call me, if you're having issues with anything, 512-905-2298. Any questions at all, I'm happy to answer you. Part of the value of having the class this way is that it's interactive. You're able to ask questions as we go. And I'm going to hook around the shoulder here. Just gently pulling her back and open. Back and open. Back and open. Got my fingers kind of around the shoulder blade right here. Just want to feel through there the second time. It's not uncommon. Like, how often do you repeat stuff? Like, do you go into a problem area, back off, and then go back into it? Okay. So I do that a lot, and I think that the longer sessions make that easier. Do therapists want to do longer sessions or shorter ones?
I don't know.
I think that's what I think. Most therapists, I think, want to do shorter sessions. And what am I teaching?
Longer.
Well, just do 3 hours. And they're like, oh my God, I would run out of stuff. And I'm like, run out of stuff?
Wow.
Like, this class is just on upper back and neck. It's 6 hours.
I get mad when I don't have more time.
Now, the next class is likely going to be what? Feet. It's going to be 6 hours. Now, how many people are confused, wondering what I'm going to cover in 6 hours working on Daniel Omo's feet? Exactly. So, right here. Pulling her back and open. Back and open. So you'll see it's like I lean back and then there's this nuance. I'm leaning back and then I kind of lean and twist back and open. Does it feel better at the end of that extreme? Yeah, it's more lengthened, more stretched, right? Now, the other thing that's really good about this is if you're working with female clients, like a lot of us do, breast tissue pulls the shoulder blade rounding and forward, right? I'm actually able to essentially trick women into letting the front go by pulling them back and open and sort of addressing some of those foundational structural issues that everybody's having, including me. But I think women have it even more so just because of the weight of breast tissue. Back and open. And rolling her gently onto my leg and off again. How's it feel on your neck? Good. Now, here's where I think there is a little bit of confusion. The therapists think I'm only working where my hands are. Do you feel this? What do you feel when I roll you back and open?
This, all the parts that
I'm using movement to figure out where there's a movement restriction. I'm rolling you back and open, and I go, where's the? I'm like, oh, it's right here, down, right there, right there. Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like free, open, free, Amityville Horror, Crypt Keeper, right in there. So somebody, I think it was Lisa, was asking about, and I'm kind of pushing my thumb right into this axillary border, right along her teres, right along the stuff that she does not want me to particularly go into because it is inordinately tender. But I have an uncanny knack of going in and finding your soft spots and mashing on them profusely. So I'm just hooking a flat thumb. It's not pointed, by the way. Just hooking a flat thumb right there. 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 Wow, I look kind of swole on camera. Look at that. Look at those guns. Look at those pythons.
I can't focus on that.
Then I back off and roll her open again. And from here, again, just going to back out. I'm going to scoot my keister over. My hips are generally going to face forward towards the client. And then I'm going to put my foot along the sacrum just so I can roll them back and open here. How's that? Good. Now, just to change it up a little bit, what happens if I do both feet? Tons of options. Like, I'm really just playing. I have a general idea of stuff I'm going to cover, but like, how does this feel compared to just this?
They're
Both great. So this is easy, relaxed. This isn't very hard work. This is me like taking a break because we did this pretty. I don't know how do I explain it. It was pretty intense. Like we were doing stuff trying to get into some deep tissue, and then I back off for a second just to be nice. Right? Gonna hook that foot again right around the shoulder blade right there. And I'm gonna take that out so you can just observe like what I'm pulling on specifically. How's that? And this shoulder blade, in her case, this shoulder blade it doesn't want to pop off. It's like resistant at first. I've got my toes curled under. Don't hurt your toes. Don't hurt your feet. Just try to position them in a way that feels good to you. Ooh. Now, in my case, because that guy did lift up, I'm going to scoop my keister up. I'm going to line up both feet right along the posterior. I say posterior. Right along the vertebral border of the scapula. Right in here. Now, if I'm at a party, I will do this. And with my right hand, I'll hold, and then I'll take a shot at tequila right here. Right. Or drink a beer right here. While I'm doing this at the party. Then you pass out business cards. How's that? Too much? No. So do you want more? Oh, 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 oh. So does it look more like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or, you know, massage? How's that? How's that? How's that? How's that? How's that? How's that? Ooh. So I'm going to place her back down. Going to go up to the top. She's mostly dead. Not dead yet. Mostly dead. And just like the other side, I'm going to bring the arm down. Just trying to create a little bit of space. If you notice that they've got like a necklace or something like that, she and Kristen both wear these sports bras. I just want to feel here and make sure there's not like a plastic piece. I don't want to dig that into their skin, right? So if you have a problem with that, let me know, Ben. I can fix it. There you go. Yeah. What I'm trying to do is just make sure this is like a kind of a flat cloth. I don't think this is going to be a problem. Sometimes you got to be a little careful. Sometimes the seam on their shirt, sometimes these can be a little bit scratchy, so I don't want to push that into her skin. If I'm at all we're worried about that, I can kind of lift the necklace up, pull the shirt down, and expose just enough skin to be able to get more contact. In her case, she tends to like when I lengthen the shoulder down and away. So I'm going to go ahead and come in, put my hand on here. How's that? There we go. Kind of down and away right there. What do you think?
Yeah.
Is that a good spot where my hand is?
Yes.
Right there? Okay.
Uh-huh.
I got weight on my right knee. I'm going to step the left in. I can put my right palm down, pillow, mat, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she.
Don't even.
Right there? Right there?
Yeah.
Now, guys, will not be long that we're going to have a guy at the switchboard. Then we're going to be bringing you up on screen so I can see what you're doing and critique Lupe. You think I don't got plans? I got plans. And I'm going to be able to see what you're doing. You'll be able to ask questions via video live, and we can sort of teleconference. How's that? Up and down? Right there? Right there? There. Are you dying? Are you dying? So if I lean in, it's more right there.
Yeah.
That's what I feel. So it takes a little time. How much more do you feel with your legs and feet now than when you started?
Oh, a lot more. Like, probably, I would say at least 60 to 80% more. Significantly more. I mean, I always was able to kind of, I'm a tactile person, so I've always been, like, picking up with my feet and do that kind of stuff anyhow. But now it's like, almost as I don't have to go to rely on my hands as much anymore to figure out if something, what I think.
Now, more to the front, more to the back.
Oh, both bad.
Okay, both bad. What if I go kind of in the middle?
Yeah.
There we go. And a little bit down towards the tailbone.
Jesus.
There. Now, if I hold the knee stationary and then rock shoulder, how's that? Not as interesting as this?
Oh, that's awful.
That's awful. Okay, we don't want to be awful. We try to minimize awful. How's that?
Better.
There we go. Now, if I just static lean on, to the front,
yeah,
or to the back.
Yeah.
Now you ask a direct question like, to the front or the back?
Words are hard right now.
Right there?
Yeah.
There we go. Too much?
No.
And I'm going to put weight on my right knee, put weight on my right hand, weight on my left arm so I can come off there slowly, incrementally. How's that? Are you dead yet?
Yeah.
One side, 15 minutes. So if the client comes in like you do in an hour, and I think you guys can pretty easily improvise this stuff for the table. And again, we're going to go over this shit so many times, it's going to make you sick of it, much less me. If you feel like there's something, missing or whatever, like, oh, well, how do on table? No. Ooh, we're going to cover all of that. Like this shit, I'm going to go over this shit so many times. There's going to be so much footage. We're going to bombard YouTube. Whoever owns Google is going to write me a message and say you have to stop producing so much video. It's against our terms of service. We did one side, just opening up. I want her to now flip to the other. And if you think this is fun, holy moly, wait till we get to the next hour. Oh, yes. Gonna get dirty.
Good.
All right, so I'm gonna come around to the other side. Same basic thing, just repeating what we did before. You guys are giving and receiving, right? So now the second person gets to receive on the opposite side. I'm gonna come in. Oh, body right up against hers. Yay. So one of the things I don't think about is I'm tall enough and my limbs are long enough that I can sit right at her sacrum and reach. If I had really short arms, and I want to point this out just so you understand some stuff about body mechanics, much like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, arm length and reach and body dimensions changes what you do, right? So if I was shorter of stature and had like shorter arms, I might have to do this. This might be like me leaning over, like too much. What I'd have to do is scoot up a little bit and then pull from here. Now, I want to do this, and I want you to tell me, what's the difference? You don't feel a difference. So what I think happens is she's going to mobilize from the top down to wherever my torso is. But if my torso is down at her sacrum, it's getting all of the spine. Let's say they had a major, okay, I'm talking major. They had a major lumbar issue. You did not want to twist at their lumbar spine. You're going to put a bolster, you're going to put them at neutral, you're going to scoot your body forward. I'm going to scoot it even higher. So just to show you, when I do this, does that feel different? How does it feel different?
I feel it on my shoulder.
Yep.
Yeah.
So one, I might use this to my advantage. This is what I call a primary position. It's a primary position, but we have all these secondary and tertiary options. When I do this, what I'm doing is I'm taking the lumbar spine out of the picture because I don't want to work on that in that instance. Or I'm in a position where if I had really, really short arms and I couldn't quite reach because I was working on somebody big and tall, I just have to like work with the body like as best I can. But that's part of the way that I very minutely will change something. From a primary position, there's all these like secondary and tertiary options. Now, just to give you an idea, I'm going to go back. So I'm really going to hook this leg up and over, right? And this is the second time she's received this. So I'm really going to focus on like pulling her up and over my leg. Now, how does my thigh feel there? There you go. Now she's lifting her head. I'm going to play with this for a second. What if I put my hand over her ear here and pull this way? How's that? Because this is primary. This is secondary, right? Now, what if I come into here and I pull you back and open, but I hook into the shoulder blade right there, right into that rotator cuff she has problems with. So this is primary, this is secondary. And I go, ooh, her tricep. Oh. And I go, oh, okay, let's roll her back and open and work on her tricep. Well, she's like running away from that one. So what I'm saying is this is a primary position. Sometimes I almost feel like I don't have to teach all the other stuff because that's just painfully obvious, right? And it's like, no. The work can almost be floral. Like you start with this foundational piece. This is very foundational biomechanically. And then I can add all these secondary and tertiary options. I guarantee you, I don't know anything about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. If I show Ben and I go, hey, Ben, show me an arm bar. How many different versions of an arm bar are there, Ben? And the thing is, he's like, that is the sort of maniacal breakdown of the art I'm engaging in, is trying to document those variants and variations to be able to help you do what you need to do. So I'm going to roll her back and open. Again, roller. Let's see. So more down towards the tailbone or more back and over? Back and over. Who wants back and over? Now, this is also the second time I've done this to her. I'm gonna change it up just for a second. I want you to hit my microphone. Can you actually grab around my arm and neck right there? How's that? Now I got a huge person. I'm just teasing here. If I had a huge person, how's that?
Awesome. And I don't feel like I'm doing a whole lot extra. Really.
But what happens is I can lean to pull her back and open. Like I'm lifting her almost completely off of the mat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now that's not mandatory because she had to put her skin. She had to put her hand on my skin to be able to do that. But if I had a huge, really large person, like once you break down the cultural boundaries and barriers, there's this big, huge, open expanse of like possibility for your work. How's that? Because maybe one hand doesn't work, right? So I get two. And it's like, oh, okay. So do I take my fingers and start digging into supraspinatus right here? Oh. Do I work right here and then press into the neck? Oh, do I work on the scalenes and hook the shoulder right here? Oh, do I get the suboccipitals right there? Oh, here. Oh. Oh. Oh my God, yeah. Oh my God, yeah. That's better than worse. That's better than awful. Right there. Now, I can toggle right back into that just primary thing. It just, what happens is there's all these creative floral options for how do we move our body? How do we mobilize? How do we lengthen? How do you take advantage of your own body mechanics as you work on someone? Rolling this back and open. Oh, she's dead. She's dead. She's dead. Then I'm going to come out again. Back out and over. You get to receive twice. It's pretty rough receiving for 2 hours. Huh?
I know, right?
So mean. So mean. What a jerk. Right there. Now, and I'm letting her just roll. Oh, that was good. So I did this real gentle. I don't know if you could hear this. It was audible. She had this little cavitation at her wrist. I just slid over and it was like clink. How's that? Better? If I want to lift her up, I can kind of put her back right along the foot there. I think somebody texted me. We're going to see. Did someone text me? I don't recommend checking your messages while you work, but if you guys need to call me again, it's 512-905-2298. Right around your shoulder blade there still? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm going to turn this way this time. My toes, you can see the edge of her shoulder blade right there, the vertebral border. How's that? And started to like let go, kind of slide over my foot there. You dying? The good death? Good death. Oh. 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 And then for me, I want both. I'm gonna scoot in. I got my toes like that, right? I'm gonna try to get the other right next to it. And for me, I want to kind of almost roll my toes. Like I don't want my toes to bend backwards and like hyperextend. I kind of want to hook them right along the shoulder blade there. And I'm going to see if I roll her back and open. Is that too much there? How's that? Feels good? Yeah. There we go. Oh. 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 So this is primary. This is secondary. And then this is tertiary. Oh, so like, what am I working on? Am I working on this, or working? Oh, it's all three, right? How's that? Pretty good there? Not too much? Is it too much on the wrist, elbow, shoulder? Okay. So for some people, let's say they don't have quite as much range of motion. Maybe their shoulder, it doesn't go any higher than this, okay? Maybe I would back off a little bit. Maybe I'd change the angle just a little bit lower with them. Now, how comfortable are you going up this way? Better there. There. So it's like some length, some mobility, but not pushing her over her edge. You're making an invitation to movement right there, right there, right there, right there, right there, right there. Oh, oh, oh. Am I killing you? Good. Oh, now down and over, and again up to the cervical thoracic junction. I'm gonna give her a little space here. I'm right along the deltoids, really along like is the middle deltoid. Was it anterior, middle, posterior? Yeah. Then I got weight on my left knee, but I've got my right knee free so I can come down and over. Now, a little more to the back, like right there. There we go. Is that too much?
No.
And don't drop your drink or your beer like right on their face. That wouldn't be good. They're definitely not a tip for that. But since your other hand is free, if you take out your phone, you might be able to like pull up Instagram, make like a, yeah, exactly, an Instagram video. Right there. Back a little bit more posterior. How's that? Is that as good as the other spot?
It's a different
spot? Yeah. You want the original? Right there? Up and down? Now, primary, secondary, tertiary. Oh shit, why not?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I wanted to do some ear work. Hey, do a little scalp. Oh yeah. Tons of options, right? The thing is, the main thing you get is just the knee. Primary. Once you've got the primary position, we can work on the other stuff. This is not the only time you guys are going to see this. We're going to do this again and again and again and again. So I'm going to lean into the forearm there. How's that? Okay. If I slide just a little bit towards the wrist, how's that?
Fine.
There we go. Now, what do you feel mainly? I got 3 points of contact. What do you notice?
My neck is like, it's so annoying. Shooting pain like up into my head. But I'm also trying not to focus on that because it is so painful. So I'm focusing more on my forearm and what you're doing there. And like, I like the placement of the deltoid arm, like the hand on the deltoid, but it's like, that's just more for support. That's like motherly. It's okay. This all sucks, but you'll be okay. That's what I feel like that hand's. Yeah. Whereas this one's like, focus over here. The knee's not
Dad
that
is over
bad.
here kicking your ass, and Mom's like, no, you're a good girl.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So I started to slide.
This is the brother or sister over
close
here.
enough.
Like, let me hurt you over here so you're not as focused on what they're doing.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So I'm closer to the wrist. I was losing my balance just a little bit. So I'm going to put a little weight back on my knee just so I can come back again. I'm going to come back to the shoulder. It gives me a little bit better grip. There we go. Up and down.
Yep.
A little bit of rocking. Little bit of rocking. Back or front? A little more forward. Right there. Oh, scheiße.
Oh.
So weight back into my left knee so I can slowly back off. And that was like half of our session today. Just those handful of moves, right? So if you need like a quick bathroom break, you need to, do what you need to do. We're going to trade out again. The next piece we're going to go into is a little more complicated. So I want you to just like stand up, move around, roll around on the mat, do what you got to, get a drink. Give it just a second. I'm going to talk real briefly about how this is going to be packaged after the fact. So when this is over, we're going to be in a situation where I'm going to put these videos inside Teachable. I'm going to enroll all of the current subscribers into the CE class, so you get CE credit. You're going to have access to the video. You can repeat it anytime you want. I just put it together as a standalone CE class. So you're going to have access to it. Now, I think next month we're going to do feet. We're doing feet on a table twice, once with tools, and in the middle session on a mat. So it's like feet and lower leg from like 3 different positions, basically, like 3 totally separate classes. I'm going to give you information on how we're going to set that up and structure it. Hopefully Ben is going to be here to help me with some of the camera work, because the foot stuff in particular, Ben, like a lot of close-ups, like little detail and stuff that'll be hard to get with like static camera necessarily. I mean, we'll have those set up too, but movement will help. So my plan is to continue doing these live streams. We're going to charge $100 for each live stream each month. You're going to get 6 hours of CE credit with each one. You're going to have access to the video after the fact. It's going to continue building on all the stuff we're doing inside the subscription service and Vault. We're going to repeat it. You're going to get to do this stuff again and again and again to be able to keep working with us. We're going to get it into your bones, so to speak. Grab my bolsters and blankets. One of the things I did not mention, you need pillows, bolsters, couch cushions, something. You're going to need these for this next piece. You absolutely have to have pillows from your bed, pillows from your couch, bolsters. I've got 2 blankets and a pillow. That's going to allow me to do what I need to do. Go ahead and just lay down on your back. But your feet are almost going to be down to the edge of the mat there. There you go. How's that?
Yep.
Comfortable?
Yep.
So when I work with people, one of the things I noticed when I started working as a massage therapist was, I got out of school, I went to a Steiner school. So I got like that basic, massage education I think most therapists get. And my clients would come in and they'd say, 90% of them said, I have problems with my upper back and neck. Like I heard that so many times, it was like Bill Murray in Groundhog Day. Like I would go up to them and say, what are you having problems with? And they're like, my upper back. And like my brain just checked out, because I'm like, I already know what the problem is, because everybody has this same problem. And the challenge I had was I would do the sequence I was taught in school and it wasn't getting better. And it was a perfectly good massage, but I was like, wait a second, what is why? And this is a question, a philosophy student, deep thinker. I'm like, why are they having problems with their upper back and neck? And when I kept looking at it, I was like, oh, they're having problems with the front, because the pec and the pec minor are like pulling the shoulder blade forward. So I'm working and pressing where it hurts, but it's not unwinding the tension in the front that's causing it to begin with. Then once I got to that sideline where I could pull you back and open, I could do that draped. You're on your side. Or I would have you on a table and say, listen, take off your shoes, lay down on the table just like you are. I'm going to move you around to see where we're going to work. The clients, and they never fought that. They were like, oh, okay. And then once I did that for like 5 minutes and like opened up your back, I'd say, listen, do you want to take off your top and bra and go face down in the face rest? Or do you want to keep doing what we're doing? And the client was like, well, no, this is really good. And I go, table tie. Now, I never called it table tie because there'd be like some pushback, right? That's almost like a bait and switch. Like I came in for massage. What is this, hippie? So what I'm going to do is everyone is having problems because they're in thoracic flexion. They are slowly becoming the Gollum. They are slowly becoming Smeagol, living off in a cave, eating some fish, dreaming about a ring. You know, they don't stand like the knight, long, tall, and proud, open-hearted. Yes, exactly. It's right there in your posture, in your mythology. What I'm going to do is put her in thoracic extension, back bend. I'm going to put her in thoracic extension. I'm going to take her out of thoracic flexion and put her in thoracic extension. Now, if she had walked in and I said, I have upper back and neck pain, and I say, lay down on your back, what do you do?
I set up.
Like, what do you... Dude, I told you, and I'm like, no. So one, I probably wouldn't do this first, because here's what I did. When I opened up one side, ooh, are you ready for this? When I opened up one side, it was a back bend and thoracic extension on one side. Then it was a thoracic extension and back bend on the opposite side. Now I'm going to do both. So the first person, or whoever it was, however you guys are going to do it, you just got to trade. So I'm going to walk you through this, okay? Now, there's some caveats with your toes, with your feet. I don't want you to hurt yourself. Do not hurt yourself, okay? So what's going to happen here is I'm going to position myself. I'm going to need my feet to go down to just about where shoulder blades are. So I'm trying to get like a judgment for how high or how low I'm going to be, depending on my leg length, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift her head and neck, and then slowly, okay, I'm going to get the ball pad of my foot right at that trap. I'm going to grab the sheets here, and I'm going to walk her up. And then I'm going to take my other foot, and I'm going to walk her up. And I'm going to walk her up. Then I'm going to scoop my keister in. I'm going to walk her up, walk her up, walk her up. Now, both shoulder blades are wrapped around my toes. I'm on either side of the spine. I've got her lifted here. Is this too much length on your neck?
Nope.
How's all this feel? Nice. Now, my toes are comfortably bent backwards, okay? Let's say I don't have a lot of calf flexibility. Let's say I don't have a lot of ankle flexibility. Let's say I don't have a lot of toe flexibility. What I probably want to do is I'm going to scoot my heels in and let my calves lengthen so I can get my toes back. I don't want to hurt my toes. I don't want to press so far back on the toes that it hurts, but I'm going to stack myself. I'm going to put one bolster down. I'm going to put a second bolster down, which is going to cover my feet, by the way, so you can't really see it, right? Then I'm going to put a third, in her case, bolster down, which is why you need all those pillows I talked about. Now, how's that? A whole new world, a new fantastic point of view. Now, what I'm doing is I'm just moving the ball pads of my feet up and down. Now, these are both at the same time. Up, then down. Up, then down. Up, and then down. Then I'm going to shake side to side. Side to side. Now, if my toes were bent back far enough that I said, this is too much, it's too much. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lift her real quick. I'm going to take my bolster and I'm going to double it. I'm going to make it bigger because I want to lift her body up more. How's that? Takes a little pressure off of my toes because the more I lift her body up, the less pressure it is on me, right? I don't want you in any way. My feet have not moved. My feet are just posterior and just to the inside along the vertebral border of the shoulder blade. Not pressing on the spine, but I can take that left foot right along her spine, right along those erectors. How's that? Then it's just the left side, right? Now, how about just the right side? Now, which is more tender?
Right side.
So nobody can tell where my feet are. Can you come in and get a close-up of this again? So what I'm going to do to show you what's going on, okay? I'm I'm going to try not to move like completely out of position. My feet, how far apart are my feet right now? They're not at all. So give me a second. Let me make sure I get the last question before I do this. You ready? I'm going to grab all of my bolsters here and I'm going to lift her up. Now, can you guys see where my feet are? Now, when I put her down, my toes do bend back a little bit, but not too much, right? Because I'm got right foot working, right foot working, right foot working, right foot working, left foot working, left, both feet side to side. And then slowly I'm going to lower her down. Was that too much on your neck, by the way?
No.
Okay, give you a little length, right?
Yeah.
So I'm bringing her back down. Now, you're going to see this again and again because we're going to keep doing this. But I didn't have too much in that. So I'm going to, just for a second here, and in this case, I'm going to lift her up. I want you guys to see this. I don't want you to do this. I just want you to watch, okay? I'm going to lift her up. Is that too much on your neck?
No.
Okay. I'm going to slide all of my bolsters out. And I'm going to grab a little closer down there. How's that? So my feet are right, that's her spine right there. That's how close my feet are together. That's the right, that's the left. Now, if I stay here for a long time, my toes are bent back enough that some of you might feel some discomfort there. Here's what I'm going to do. I want you to watch this real close, okay? I'm going to back my feet out, and now the shoulder blade, the ball pad of my foot's right on the shoulder blade. Ball pad of my foot's right on the shoulder blade. How's that? Okay. Now, it's not rubbing on the shoulder blade in a way that feels uncomfortable.
Nope.
And is it rubbing on this shoulder blade in a way that feels uncomfortable? Now, if I kept her in this position where I'm leaning her forward with my hand, it would be too much on my lumbar spine because I'm leaning forward. I'm going to lift all of my bolsters up and over, and I'm going to try to slide them back into place and let her head come back again. How's that? Now, all I did was it takes a little bit of pressure off my toes because as I come up the back, instead of this being bent back, like my toes like this, because this is kind of how we started. They were bent back a little bit, right? It's not uncomfortable. Okay, my hip, ankle mobility is completely off the charts. I do this, I could do this for an hour. Did you just hear me? So we do one side for an hour, we do the other side for an hour, and we do this for an hour. Oh, you think I'm lying? So more right side or more left side? Left side. So right there. So the right side just hanging out. This side's doing this. This side's doing this. This side's doing that. So just to show it again, I'm going to bring her up and over. I'm going to slide it out because I want you to be able to see what I'm doing here. You like that right there on the left side. Right there. Right there. Right there. Right there. More than the right side?
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm going to move just a little bit higher on her. A little bit right there. I've got some support so I can put the other foot in place. Is that spot better on the left? So just based on what she was telling me, I can kind of feel. Now, how long can I use, again, the ball pads of my feet to do this? Now, I'm really pasty white, but I got good legs. You know what I'm saying? Because I do this all day, right? So this doesn't hurt my hands. Again, what I'm going to do, I got this foot position right here. Hopefully you guys can see this. I've got her lifted just to be able to hold her in place. She trusts me. She's all weebledy-wobbledy. Is it still left side? Okay. So you guys can see, I think, pretty well where my feet are. To take the pressure off, I'm going to roll my bolsters back into position. I'm going to tuck her in. How's that? Because now I'm hands-free and I can take that curve out of my lumbar spine so that I can lean back. Back and forth. Right, left, 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 right, left. So, if somebody does this and you say, it hurts your feet, okay? So one, I want to make sure, don't hyperextend joints. Don't put your feet in a position that's like horribly uncomfortable, okay? Now, I'm starting to get just a little bit of burn in my calves. I start to feel just a little bit of something. They're saying in their toes. Now, as I walk up, and I want to show this again, so we're going to walk you through this. I can't remember who exactly is messaging me when they say that, but I'm going to do this again. I'm going to lift her up. I'm going to show you this, okay? You're going to slide the bolsters out. Now, my toes are still bent back, right? Most of us, how much time do we spend in our lives with our toes bent back this way? Very, very rarely. I'm going to walk the feet up. Now, when I walk the feet up, what happens to my toes? They're not as bent. If I walk it right up into this junction right here, you know that my upper back of my neck, oh, my upper back of my neck, oh, my upper back of my neck, oh, my left side right there, oh, my upper back of my neck, oh, my upper back of my neck. Well, my toes aren't bent back anymore. Where's the pressure delivered? Now, do I want to use, I want you guys to listen to this, do I want to use my hands and arms, or do I want to use my legs and feet? Now, if you're having problems with your ankle mobility or something like that, I got her on the left side, left side, left side, left side, left side. I've got her in position. I'm leaned forward. This is fine. I got lengthened hamstrings. I work on my body, but I'm going to bring my bolsters back up and over. Oh, yeah. I'm going to tuck her in. How's that? Is that too high? Okay. So it was a little bit too high because of the position of where I'm at on a thoracic spine. In her case, I'm going to slide one of these out. Now, is that too low?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to tuck this guy just a little bit. How's that? See, these are adjustable. One of the reasons I like these bolsters is because these are customizable. I can fold it to whatever side I need it to be. Now, in my case, I want to show this. I'm going to lift her up again. The angle that I have right here, do you see how I'm kind of pointed from my ankles? It's almost like my feet are pointed. I don't like that as much. This feels like I'm straining just a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scoot my keister in just a little bit, and I'm going to lift her up. Now my ankles are basically underneath. How does that feel to you?
Good.
This feels more balanced to me, and there's less pressure on my toes. I'm going to slide again, bolster back and in. How's that? A whole new world. I'm the king of the world. I don't want to drown in the water. I'm the king of the world.
Right side.
Right side, right there?
Yeah, right.
Right there, right there, right there. Yeah. Now he can pretty much, you can see toes because the toes have escaped. Right there. So static, down towards the feet, more lateral, more medial. More lateral, more medial. More lateral. Okay, so I'm going to do lateral both sides. Lateral on both sides. There we go. How's that? There we go. Now both. There we go. Or right. Left, right, left, right, or both?
Right.
Just right. Right. Now, don't ever use your phone and like text or make like a Instagram video while you're working. You would never recommend that, right? I would never, ever, ever do that. Except where I go into right here. A whole new world. A new fantastic point of view. And we have Andrea and Ben on the gimbal, documenting a whole new world for you. Right side? Left side?
Yeah.
Right, left?
Yeah.
Both? Back and forth? There we go. Back and forth. Back and forth. More left?
Up.
or more right? More left? Oh. Now I'm going to hold the left and then shake. How's that? There you go. There you go. We'll post that later. Right there. Okay. Whoop. So my feet starting to get a little tired. Okay. It was only 20 minutes. Some of you at home, you texted me. You were like dying. You didn't know where you put your feet. This ain't, no, listen, we're going to cover this 9 million times. Once you learn how to use your legs and feet this way, you're never going to use your hands and arms the same way again, because we have solved the problem of biomechanics in our industry. It's called mat-based. So what I'm going to do to slide out, I'm going to lift her head just a little bit. I'm going to slide my bolsters out. You can see where my feet are, right? Right in here. I just want to lower her down to the mat. And immediately what I did was I kind of flexed my toes this way because I had my toes bent back, right? So she is nearly completely wiped out. Now, you're going to take one of your handy dandy bolsters, just like this. You want right side or left side? Neck. Left side. Okay. So I'm going to come over to her left side. And I'm going to move this over. I've totally borked all my sheets. This borked is an official word. So I'm going to come over, and here's what's going to happen. Since I'm working on her left side, my hips are facing her, my left leg. I've got this bolster. Are you ready? Oh, this is a whole new world, a new fantastic point of view. There you go. So I'm going to lift up, and I'm going to make sure that this bolster is underneath my knee, okay? Now, I want her at least the upper half of my shin. I'm going to move this guy a little bit closer. I'm going to scoot in just a little bit more. Right there. How's that? Now, I've got support from my knee. Now, that feels good, right? So when you feel this with your like suboccipitals, or you feel it with the back side of your neck, do you feel my tibia like a sharp, sharp, sharp bone? Or do you feel big, broad tib anterior? Okay. So she's already like, oh, that's good. So are you ready? Oh, are you ready? This is how we're going to, you ready? An entire industry just fucked up. Okay. So watch. How's that? Is that too much pressure? Okay. To the left or to the right? Or back and forth? Right into the suboccipitals. Now, if for some reason I feel like this is too sharp, it's too sharp. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna lift her head just a little bit, and in my case, I'm gonna turn my leg. You can see this where I've turned foot. It's a little broader. How's that? Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. So how's that? Do you still want up and down?
Yeah.
Or I should say back and forth?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Left or right or both?
Both.
Holy shit. This is how I don't hurt my hands and create a practice making $500 a day using techniques clients have never seen that they can receive at Massage and Feet, because you can work with me and create a whole new industry world. Right there. Back to the left or the right?
It's the right side, that side, that side.
Tell me when.
There.
There we go.
Right there.
Now, we talked about primary, secondary, tertiary positions. I'm going to switch out to my right arm right here. How's this?
Good.
So I've just got big, broad pressure along the forehead here, just to get a good grip. Now, there's some pressure here. I'm just going to add, you don't have to do this, by the way. I'm just giving you an idea of like where we're going, okay? So what happens if I traction the arm? What happens if I press through here?
Good.
Sometimes I answer my friends' phone calls during session just because I want to taunt them. Hey man, we're streaming live. Like, what? No man, I'm teaching a class. He's like, oh, I guess I should let you go. How's that?
Good.
Now, if I wanted to, and I'm gonna demonstrate this because again, you don't have to do it. I just want to give you some options, right? Working on a female client, I'm gonna cover up breast tissue here. Now check this out, because I got some pressure back here, right? I want to work on pecs. How's that?
Yeah.
How's
So good.
how's that? It's a whole new. I'm stuck on a song.
Yeah, you are.
Right there. Ooh. Ooh. Now more to the right.
Holy.
Right there. There. Ooh. Ooh. So for me, for some reason, the way it was hitting my skin along my tibia started to be a little bit uncomfortable. I don't know if it was like the change in angle, position, but you don't want to hurt yourself, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slightly change it. I'm going to roll my shin just a little bit the other way. How's that?
Okay.
Is that better there?
Yeah.
That's much better on my leg. Didn't hurt my skin. It felt like I was pressing so deeply on muscle. On a skin right along the tibia that it was like stretching it too much. So just change your position. Right. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip over to the other side. So I'm just going to leave the towel where it's at, because I can grab that later. But I'm going to slide my leg out. And all I'm going to do is throw this guy to the other side so I can do the opposite side of the neck. Now this time it's going to be my right leg. And I have a reason for doing this, by the way. You'll figure it out later. We're not covering it all today. But if I lift this up, hey, hey, hey. Usually I don't want to be at the second lower half of my ankle. It feels like too much pressure on my ankle bones. I want to make sure that this is really supporting my knee. And then I want to make sure I'm in a good spot for her. How's that?
Good.
Is that a good spot in your neck?
Yeah.
Okay. Now if I roll you front to back, side to side, left or right? Right there. There you go. Now, this is easy for me because I've done it 99,10,000 hours. But really what I'm doing, I call this receiving the client. So am I pushing on the client? Oh, no, I'm pulling the client into my body. So I can leave her like that. How's that feel? Yeah. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. You ready? I'm the foam roller. Oh, yeah, this is brilliant. Yeah, this is genius. This is how we're going to collapse an industry. So I want you to roll your head side to side and pick a spot. I want you to put your head where you want the pressure. Tell me. She goes back that way.
All right.
No, it's fine. And the thing is, sometimes it'll be to the left, sometimes it'll be to the right. We're changing the angle. We can work on multiple spots because we work on one spot and like tension will kind of move around, right? Yes. So where do you want pressure? I'm not even doing anything. Like she's paying me to not do stuff.
Paying you to
right
use your
here,
knee.
right here. How's that?
Oh,
is that too much?
No.
Okay. Now, if I take you, do you want like further up or further down? Up. When you say up, this way?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me when. Right there? Okay. More to the left or the right? A little bit left or a little bit right? Both good. Now, what if I go back and forth?
Yeah.
Now, I can maintain. I'm a drummer now. You're gonna play the drum solo from In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida. So we're gonna keep this rhythm going, and we're gonna double time on the arm here. And they're gonna hook right into her thenar eminence right there. And I say, nah, that was a lot of work. We gotta lift. So I'm gonna bring this up and over into her pec, right? So then we're gonna right into there. How's that? How is that? Is that in your pectoralis? Gotta give me a new song. I'm trying to think of another. Under the sea. Under the sea.
Doesn't have to be Filipino.
Well, then, but it's the most recognizable.
That is true.
Right there. How's that?
Yes.
Now, is it too
Let
much
it
on
go.
either end?
Just let-
Too much on either end. Too much on either end.
No.
Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. Now, if I take that off, how's that on your neck?
Good.
So you still feel pressure on your neck.
Yeah. It's
Just the weight of
not
your
as
head.
Much. Yeah.
Right there.
Oh.
Right there. Right there. Okay. Tell me. Both right there? There we go. Now, to the right or the left? To the right. Think back and forth right there. There we go. So that little bit of verbal communication, you're going to build that into your sessions. You're going to build it in, you're going to do it again, you're going to ask for feedback, you're going to train them to purchase, practice, to receive a completely new session that they cannot get anywhere else. It's going to save your hands, increase your ankle, toe mobility, hip mobility, give you a better quality of life, increase more safety because you're completely clothed. You can work in groups publicly, you can start cooperatives. Oh, 8 to 10 students can get together, rent out a space, work publicly. How's that?
Amazing.
Oh, 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 oh. And then slowly. I would call this the dismount, but I'm going to lift my knee just a little bit to slide this out. I'm going to lift their head and then slowly slide my neck out. And in her case, she is would typically be like the giver here in a second, but I'm going to stand up, just kind of straighten up my sheets because I'm going to do a second pass. Same basic thing. You guys are going to trade. You're going to switch out. And now the other person is going to feel the burning in their toes because they have no conditioning. So how would I perform at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? I've never done it. This is a real question for me, by the way. Am I going to get like muscularly tired first, or am I going to be out of breath? Cardio. Yep. I mean, because it's like you're fighting with somebody basically. Yeah, like because your conditioning happens across all physical disciplines. How many years have I been doing this now? Yeah, a long time. Like I don't remember a time barely that I didn't do this. So I'm gonna make sure all my bolsters are nearby because I got to be able to grab them, right? I tend to fold these guys like this. I like that. I got my handy dandy pillow. I got my handy dandy other blanket. Just to make sure they're stacked up and ready. And I got my other pillow here. Got a towel if I should need that. Got it there. Just so it's like within hands reach, right? So if it's too much, on your feet and toes, we got to just slightly change position. If you can't get your feet completely underneath, it's fine. Guys, we're going to do this 9 million times, and I guarantee you, your ankle, toe, hip flexibility will completely change. Do I feel uncomfortable at all sitting on the floor like this? No, but I do it all day, so it doesn't bother me, right? I'm also like moving. I'm not just like static. I'm actually inviting, movement. Like, hey, I'm up on my knees. Hey, I'm sitting back down. Like all this stuff. She's just getting some movement through there. How's your upper back and neck?
Good.
Feels good?
Yeah.
Now,
Oh,
how much have I used my hands? Very, very little. And that's the deal. This completely saves my hands for things that are appropriate. If I was working on her this part of the session, the last 30 minutes, I'd go down and work on her SCM, I'd work on her scalenes, use my fingers, because I've done the big, bulky work first, bigger muscles. Now we're going to use some little spot work, but it's just to open up some final structures, right? So can you straighten out just a little bit? You're like kind of curved on my mat here. There you go.
I was like, I am
Oh, you're fine.
straight.
So I'm going to come in again, and we're going to show this repeatedly. And even if you don't get it tonight, guys, listen. $100 a month. We're going to do this again and again and again and again and again until you're sick of it, until you know it, until clients pay you hundreds of dollars for a session because it's 3 hours long and you're selling something they can't even get anywhere else. So I'm going to lift her head and neck. And I could use either feet. Now, I will mention this. I tend to lean towards my right foot for some reason. I'm not sure why. But over time, you want to develop balance between your left and right side, a little bit of ambidexterity. Do I care if I work my right or my left? Not. I mean, they're pretty much almost level, but I'm left-handed, I'm left dominant. So I just caught myself like, why am I holding over my left hand instead of my right? Well, I'm left-handed, I'm probably a little bit stronger on this side. So you want to make sure that you're developing strength on either side, right? So I'm going to lift, because I'm grabbing her with my foot, lifting her up, getting up to my heel, hopefully. Now, if I can't do that with one, what happens if I get both and go, hey, 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 hey? Oh, there we go. I'm going to lift her up, walk it in, lift her up, walk it in, lift her up, walk it in. I'm going to scoop my key strand just a little bit, lift her up, walk it in, lift her up, walk it in. Now, you can see both shoulder blades starting to wrap around my feet. Now, how close together are my heels or far apart are my heels? Well, it feels comfortable to your toes, right? So I've got her lifted right here. Now, I'm going to bring this guy in. Going to bring this guy in. Going to bring this guy in. How's that? Would you like your head to be lifted higher?
Yeah.
Okay. So I just asked because I don't know exactly what she's going to want. So I'm going to lift her just a little bit. I'm going to double this guy up. How's that? She's more comfortable there. So in my case, I'm going to tuck my heels down and under, okay? Because I'm trying to take as much pressure off my toes. When I slide them back, it's like the plantar surfaces of my feet lengthen, but I can pull both feet side to side, back and forth, side to side, back and forth, side to side, back and forth. Back and forth, side to side. Left, right, 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 right. Pretty epic pose right there. That's pretty nice. Hey, what we're doing right there on the right side. Can't see my feet because my feet are hidden under a blanket. Yeah, you can't even see it at all. So, going to, in a second, slide that out again. So, going to lift her head gently because I just want you to see where my feet is, okay? We're going to repeat this again and again and again. So, I'm going to slide all this out. And there's where my feet are. My toes are curled back. Hopefully you can see that. But that's comfortable to me, okay? If I need to come out a little bit further, if it's too much right here, I'm like, no, my toes are bent a little bit too far. I'm gonna walk my feet just a little bit further up the shoulder blades. Right there. They're a little less bent. How's that spot? Good. So then I'm gonna take this guy and I'm gonna slide all this right back in place. How's that? Hey, there we go. Now, I will do this at a party and drink a tasty Celis beer from the local brewery. Try to get them on my podcast. Right there. Right side or left side? So what I felt was like my feet are on either side of the spine, right? Let's come on in again. Let's see it. And I want to show what I felt because I got my feet here, and what it felt was like it felt more dense on the right side. This was kind of moving and open, but this right side felt like, ooh, that's tight. What's going on right there? So, got this guy again. Gonna roll it up, put it in position, roll it on over. How's that? Easy, easy, easy movements, okay? You got to make this easy on your body. As easy as possible. You've worked with me for a little while. Do you use your hands more or less? How are your clients responding to the sessions? Better or worse?
Way better.
Are you making more money?
Yep.
How long have you worked with me? Right side, right side, right side. My left foot is just hanging out. Right side, right side, right side, right side, right side, right side. And in her case, in a second, I know what's going to happen. I've worked through tension. I feel this right side. Oh man, this right, and there, right side, right there, right. That's what wants more pressure. I'm gonna reposition my feet, just like I was using a forearm and an elbow. I'm like, oh man, no, I got to get in there deeper. I'm gonna lift her up, and I want you to be able to see this. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reposition my foot. I want to be able to feel. Is that right there? Here. So I moved it just a little bit higher, maybe like a ½ inch, right there. Now, how's it feel on the left side? See, the tissue feels like it's open, it's moving. This right side, it's like you got an evil Grinch-like lump of coal, right in there. How's that? Your dark soul, okay. Yeah. Is it like the Dark Knight? Reach up. So I'm gonna slide this over again. We're gonna put her back in position. Now, is your head and neck too high? A little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna half this, just because I want her to have support, but I don't want her to be like craned up. How's that? There we go. Now that right foot, right foot, right foot, right foot, right foot, right foot. Now, I wouldn't recommend this, but this is the first thing that came to my mind. So I could be at the party, and I'm single now, so it's kind of a weird scene for me, like I'm post-divorce, right? So I will totally flirt with her at a party by doing this, but I'll also flirt with the other young lady over here, because you're trying to make them both fight for your attentions. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh man, he was paying attention to me, but he's paying attention to me, and it's like, oh, come on. What is this, greedy? What is this, capitalism with relationships? Jeez. Infinite resources. Right side? Yep. Now I'm going to go to the left for a second. I'm going to let my right foot rest. The right foot is just hanging out. How's it on the left side? Good, but it don't feel like the right, does it? Okay. So I'm typically going to focus on what she's having an issue with. If I go back and forth, and I just shifted position a little bit. What I did is I kind of shimmied and moved position so that I could move just a little bit higher on that right side, because I could feel some of that tickle. What's going on?
It's just so pissed.
It's angry.
It's so tight. Like,
so
it just feels
angry.
Like it's like,
so
if you're touching it,
angry. Angry. Right side. So for me, I'm gonna lean back for just a second because I was feeling that in my spine. I was leaning forward, right? I want to take some pressure off, just like my lawn, like on the beach, like hanging out right here. Oh yeah. Open my own chest, thoracic extension. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Wondering why massage therapists won't work so hard. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now, this stuff here, guys, I do this at almost every Thai Massage Jam. I will do this 1,000 times on the YouTube channel. I will do it 1,000 more times in our Vault subscription, and I will do it 1,000 more times online via live streams. I am not going to stop until this becomes normal. Until people go to massage school and they go, I don't understand, these are inferior techniques. And they're like, well, this is what we teach here at massage school. Ooh, ooh, what a jerk. Right there, right there. Right side or left? So a little more tender on that side as we moved up. So again, and I want to show this again, little close up. I keep showing this just because I want you to understand positioning and feet and how this works. Okay, I'm going to lift her head up. You go ahead and slide this out again. You can see where my feet are, right? So, but I'm going to move just a little bit higher. I just scooted the ball pad on my foot just a little bit higher, a little bit higher, a little bit higher. How's that? Right there. Okay. Now, what happens if I give you some up and lift and lengthen on your neck right there? What if I hooked a couple of fingers right there and like,
Yeah.
oh, that feels nice. Yeah, get a little
Yeah.
stretch right there. Holy shit. Holy sheet. Holy sheet. Holy sheet. I couldn't quite slide. There wasn't enough skin oil.
No.
But I'm going to slide these back into position. How's that? There we go. Right, left, right, left, right, left. How's that? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Right side or left?
Let's do right.
Right again?
Yeah.
Right there? Now if I press on the right side, right that? There we go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And just to give you an idea, we're going to transition out of this in just a second, but I'm going to lift her head again. I'm not changing the position of my feet. I want my feet to be in the exact same position because that's where I'm at right now. And that's what I was doing with that right foot. It's more ball of the foot. Ball of the foot. Right in that cervico-thoracic junction. Cervico, left, right, left, right. I've almost scooted her body. She started with her feet at the edge of the mat, and we moved her like a foot down the mat. So I'm slowly going to move these guys out of the way just to roll her back and open. I can do crazy, like there's so many options. Once you start doing this shit, like I can lift her head up, I could do this, I could put a foot here, I could put a foot here, I walk her along, I could hook through the suboccipitals, press it there.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I could do some scalp work, I could do all of this, like tons of options, tons. So many options. Now, left to right side of the neck.
Do the right side.
Right side? Okay. So I'm going to grab one of my blankets. Pull this guy over. Make sure I got my water this time. Didn't spill all my soda water on the floor. So if I'm on the right side, my hips are going to be facing them. And I'm going to use my right leg. But I'm going to use this as a little bolster. Just going to make sure that my knee doesn't hyperextend. For some clients, it's not necessary, but I like using it. I like the angle and positioning more. I'm going to put this right underneath. I'm going to lift her head and neck. And I want her on the top half of my tibia, top half of my shin. So from right there, you want lower or higher? Higher. Tell me when. Right there? Okay. Now, gently, instead of me just pushing your head left to right, roll your head left to right to me and like pick a spot that you want to press into. Okay. Now, if I give you some extra pressure right here, is that too much?
No.
Okay. And you want to stay right there, or
Yeah.
like to the right,
That's good.
or to the left?
Oh shit.
Okay. So what if I go back and forth between those two?
Yeah.
There we go. Back and forth. Back and forth. Back and forth. So here's what I have noticed doing this work. I have pretty tight calves. If you ever work on me, if you're too fast on my calves, I might jump. Calves are tender. Now, the reason my calves have a little bit more tension in them is because I use my legs and feet like other therapists use their hands and arms. The difference is I'd rather put strain on these big muscle groups than I would on little small ones. If I go right there, how's that? Okay. Now, do you mean to roll up or down? Tell me when. Right there. And what I had to do was I had to roll my hip up, up, and hold it in place right there. So 2 hands. There you go. To the left, to the right. Right there.
Yeah.
Ah, nice. 2 curse words in a row.
Ah!
Double word score.
Oh, there's a lot more.
Too much?
No.
Okay. So if I take the pressure off for just a second, because that's pretty intense, right?
Yeah.
Like how does it feel? Because like you gave me 2 curse words in a row, and I suspect it's intense. And you're just like, woof, man, that's really intense.
Yeah.
But it's not supposed to be painful.
No.
It's just it's
wasn't
intense.
painful.
It's like you work out. Like if you train.
It's like you finally found that one little spot that I've been.
Yeah. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to like tuck your chin. There you go, and like look up. Just kind of move up and down as well. I want you to tell me, where do you want the pressure? What feels good? Because she's doing all this retraction and then like turning side to side. She's picking a spot. Right there. Okay. And then my hands are going to come back on. How's that? Then she can relax, right? She was using my leg, my tibia, my tibialis anterior like it's a foam roll. This is almost effortless neck work. Now, I'm in an industry where therapists aren't used to using a forearm and an elbow. How do they feel about using a tibia in the neck? Ooh. Okay, guys, you want to go for extra credit? How's the pressure? Doing okay? You guys want to go for extra credit? How's this? Tell me right there. How's that? Is that too much? Okay, cool. Now I'm going to grab your arm and then we're going to traction it while I do this. How's that? Now, you want over to the right or over to the left?
Right was worse.
A little bit to the right?
Yeah.
Right in there? How's that?
Yep.
How's that? Cool.
Mother.
Ooh. 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 Right there. How's that? To the right or to the left? Right there?
Yeah.
A little more traction on the arm. There we go. Now, you don't have to do that. I'm just trying to explain to you, once you understand these primary positions I'm teaching, it opens up like a whole new terrain in your practice. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to lift my knee just a little bit so I can slide this bolster out, and I'm going to go to the other side of her neck. Now, the reason I use the left leg on the left side, the right leg on the right side, is because of that. Is because it makes that leg open and available to do that should I want to. It's not wrong to use the other leg. I just find that it works biomechanically. It gives me some additional options. So I'm going to come to this side, just like before. She's a badet. Pull this in. Give me support from my knee. There we go. So from there, do you turn your head like to the left or the right? Okay. Now, with my shin, do you mean to roll this down or up?
Up.
Where to? There? Or a little higher? Right there?
There. Yeah.
Right there?
Yeah.
Okay. I was just letting her pick the spot. All I did, it was like I had my arm under there and I rolled like this or like that. And I let her pick the spot that she wanted to be on. 1, are you ready? It's got to be maximally effective for the client. 2, I have to release all of my body tension while I work. I work for 6 hours a day. Do I want to be tight? Do I want to work hard?
No.
Do I want to be effective?
Yeah.
Oh. Do I care about the cultural context of a very sick society that I work in? No. Let's break it and do really effective work. So I'm going to reach out right here. How's that pressure? Now, more to the right, more to the left. More to the left. Tell me when. Right there. There we go. And what I did was I checked in on my body. There's a little bit of skin stretch right around my tibia. But I go, it's a little tender, but it's okay. If it was too much, I would just reposition. Your tibia, your body, your shin, different angles, different sizes, different leverage, different pressure. It's why you have to be able to communicate with the client as you go. So in about 3 minutes, we are going to finish up. This was a 6-hour mat-based upper back and neck class, and I didn't cover a third of maybe what we could potentially do for the upper back and neck. It was good, and that's just on the mat. That's not on the table. Oh. So we're going to do these live streams again and again and again and again. I want you to come along. I want you to get your CE credit. It's $100. I want you to partner up with massage therapists, get together in your living rooms. I don't give a rat's ass. Do you hear me? Rat's ass. If you get 20 therapists in your living room all working together. That's good. That's good for business. Only one of you has got to pay. Does it make sense? More to the right, more to the left.
Right.
Tell me when. Right there. Okay. So for my hand position, I'm going to switch out. That's going to be a little easier for me. How's that? There we go. These videos are going to be packaged for you inside Teachable. You're a subscriber. I'm going to enroll you in the course once I've set it up. I have to submit it to the nationals, make up a quiz. That might take me a week to go ahead and do that. This stuff is going to be available to you. Now, in addition, I don't want you to stop at the pre-recorded stuff. I want you to work with us live. I want to do it again and again and again and again until you're doing it, until you see what it does to your practice. And much like her, you expend less energy, you're working more effectively, you're making more money helping people. How do the clients respond to your work?
I love it. I absolutely love it.
They immediately go see somebody else.
No. I am their only. I can't get. And they just suffer. They suffer until I get them in, and I'm like, I tell them they could go a couple of other places, but no, they won't. They just won't.
They suffer.
They do. They've told me this. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
So it's a continued ongoing outreach. I'm continuing to work at it. I'm just telling you that we're going to continue working with you live. This is going to completely change education in the massage industry. Do you want to roll side to side, like pick a new spot?
What the fudge is that? Whoa, what is that?
Right there?
Whatever that is.
More pressure?
Yeah.
How's that?
Oh.
There we go. Oh. So it has been a pleasure working with you guys. Really appreciate it. If you have any feedback at all, feel free to go to the Reboot Insiders Club, leave feedback there. It's great. Anything that lets me know what's going on so we can improve the live streams is great. In addition, you might be in a position where you're like, man, I need a class on, I don't know, elbows or something. That gives me information about what to cover next. In November, I think we're going to do feet, lower legs and feet. We're going to cover that in detail. It's going to be a lot of fun. I know that Danielle Omo is coming in at least for one of those, if not all. And this information, again, is going to be packaged for you. To take her out, I'm going to lift her head so I can slide this guy out and then slide my leg out. So listen, it's been a pleasure working with you guys. If you need anything from me, feel free to contact me, talk to me online. You can text or call me. I'm happy to do a consult. Just let me know what's going on. I'm going to keep working with you, and we're going to change how education works in our industry. Thank you guys for tuning in.